Own Backup protects against data loss and corruption by providing enterprise-level control of data across all your Salesforce orgs from a single dashboard. Interactive graphs make it easy to identify Salesforce data changes over time, and automated daily backups protect your Salesforce data, metadata, and attachments. Manage proactively with customizable smart alerts that notify you whenever data is added, changed, or deleted. Quickly search your entire backup archive to find specific records, remove records individually or in bulk, and stay compliant with internal and external regulations, including GDPR. Compare backups at the click of a button to locate the exact point at which data was lost or corrupted, and recover lost data quickly, regardless of scale. With Own Backup, you can restore data records with their corresponding parent-child relationships down to any level of granularity. Speed up development with Own Backup Sandbox Seeding and Replicate to create anonymized test data sets in minutes, while advanced key management and access controls help to keep your data secure. Backup, compare, recover, replicate, and comply with Own Backup for Salesforce.
We were just a bunch of nerdy kids who ignored the haters. We took their ridicule and we built on it. And when some of us gave up, well, we built on that too. Built resilience, built on a mission to make things a little better every day until the users came. Then the haters were VCs who scoffed at our audacity. This just isn't the way things are done. But we kept building. Users turned into teams, turned into companies, running their entire businesses on our apps. Then the software giants came after us. We weren't proven, we weren't fully featured, our radical cloud model wasn't secure. But we built on. And today, as companies adopt the cloud to move faster, teams are finding themselves slowed down by each other's efforts. The skeptics are claiming we'll never develop innovation at scale. But now, DevOps have come to the cloud, ushering in a new era of transformation. Companies can release on demand across hundreds of environments, innovating faster with fewer conflicts and fewer disruptions. There will always be challenges. There will always be naysayers. And we'll build on.
Okay, here we go. Okay, so first a little bit about me. I've been an independent consultant for over 30 years. I've focused solely on Salesforce since 2004. I actually first started working with Salesforce and Surveys in 2006. I started the Salesforce Surveys collaboration group right after Salesforce Surveys was introduced. And I'm based in New Orleans, Louisiana. Salesforce Surveys was first introduced in the Spring 18 release, so it's been through 6 releases at this point. It's built entirely on standard Salesforce objects. When it first came out, you had to have a creator license to actually create more than one survey. It was free if you had Health Cloud or later Financial Cloud. In summer 19, a year ago, they opened it up to all users. You could create unlimited amounts of surveys, but they changed the pay system. So now you pay per survey response. Your first 300 responses are free. Any responses after that, you have to discuss with your account executive. The list price is 300 responses, 1,000 responses for $300. And that pricing, of course, goes down if you buy more responses. And there has been a steady improvement with each release. So what we're going to do here is basically create, send, and track a survey in 15 minutes. That's pretty much how simple it is these days. So the first thing you have to do is create a domain. Okay, create a new community, select a build your own community, which is very, very simple. And then you add text to some homepage, you publish it, and you activate. I'm going to skip those steps in the present of time because I've already got my community established. but I'm just going to show you what that looks like here.
David, can you hear me?
Yes,
Can you speak a little louder or raise the volume?
there, I can raise the volume. There we go. Okay, there you go. Is that better?
For me, it's great. I really appreciate.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so here we are in setup. And basically, I've got a community set up. Here, it's called Employee Pulse. And this is the link. And this here, if you actually look at that, this is all it is. That's it, nothing. Salesforce Surveys runs as an app, either on Salesforce or in your community. So you don't have to put any pages in, which is really nice. So this is all set up. The other thing that's kind of key about this is you have to set what's called the community profile. So let me go back to this down. Here into communities, and I go to Builder. And in Builder, you go to Settings, and down here, there's a guest user profile. Guest users can access, and the employee plus profile. And the key to this is to enable these three survey objects. Surveys read, survey invitations read, and survey responses read, create, edit. So that has to be done after you have enabled surveys. Okay, I'm going to go back to the slides real quick here. And create a community. I've done this. Next, you have to enable surveys. We talked about the guest user profile. That's all done. And so now we're ready to create a new survey. And I'm going to do that. So in my org here, I'm going to go to surveys. And surveys are actually created in basically what we call the survey builder. This is one that's already started, just to show it to you. There's a concept of versions, very much like workflow, not workflow, like process builder. You can only have one version at a time. Once you activate a survey to use it, you can no longer edit it. So you can always create new versions. This is the builder process you're seeing here. Each survey starts, okay, since this one is active, I can't do anything with it, so I'm just going to let it go. Let me go back and create a new one. And you name it up here, 20-minute survey. You can have a welcome page. You can hide the welcome page if you don't want it. You can turn it back on. If you don't hide it, you have to have something on it. And so, welcome to my world. And then you add a page. And the pages can have questions. And on the page, you can add questions, as many as you want, although you don't want too many. These are the various question types: state, multi-selection, net promoter score, which is really kind of nice because it actually looks like a net promoter score. I can add a second question, ranking. And here you can add, how did we do on this? And the rankings, you can decide what, you can actually rank items, success, failure, and you can assign scores and weights, like this is a ranking 2, and you can also move these around. So you can put failure at the top. Okay, and that's kind of it for now. The other thing though here is now you can preview your survey and see what it looks like. And I have arrows because you have to enter data here. But what you can do is not have the description, then it's not required. And the same here. And so now I can preview. Okay. Well, I'm just going to delete the question and move on. And okay. Okay. And so now I can preview. Nope, still have errors. Oh, I have to have a thank you page. That's the other thing. You have to. Okay. So now I can preview. And this is just, welcome to my world. This is your response here. And I want to put, I'm going to make this one 1, and it re-ranks them for me, or you can also drag, you can't drag them here. Okay. And finish. That was just a sample. When you're all done with this, you could activate the survey. Okay. This actually opened up in a new window, so I need to close it down. If you activate it, once it's activated, you have other options. You can send the survey. You can send it via email. You can include the first question, or you can just have a link. And next step, you can specify somebody who you want to send it to, Andy Young, and you can send it out like that. And that next step, it would just be sent. I'm not going to send this right now. And you also can obtain a link that you can send to people. Like if you want to do it internally, you would just send that link to people in your organization. You can make them anonymous responses. You can let them see their responses, okay? You can also add an auto expire date. So I say after 7 days, the survey no longer works. Okay, and that's kind of creating the survey very quickly. I'm going to go back to show you the one that I'm going to use for the customer satisfaction. This is actually created for you automatically when you in your org. If I edit the current version, you can, okay, it's actually active right now, and it's just this page is hidden. How would you rate our service? And that's it. Okay, not much to it, but this would be working. Now I want to jump back to my slides. We've activated. So now the question is, we want to send that customer satisfaction survey to everybody, to the contacts related to a case when the case is closed. And this is so simple. This is actually a fairly recent enhancement. All you have to do is go to here, get rid of this, go to setup, and there's a kind of a new section in setup. It's called support settings. Yes. And if you go down through support settings, there's this new thing called customer feedback survey. So if I edit that, and this is a lookup, and then right there, there's customer satisfaction. That's the one I want to use. And that's it, okay? You don't have to do anything else except save this. Okay, so now, let's go to a case. And I'm going to create a new case for Andy Young. And I think that's all that's required. Just hit save. Nope, I have to do case origin. This case is created. Okay, and now if I close this case, oops, meant to do this beforehand. So I need to go to member support settings that we're in before. This is something also that was done in the spring 20 release. Is you don't automatically have the ability to close a case. Show the closed statuses. Okay. And now we're back in the case. If I refresh the screen, close, save. And now if I jump into my email, because I'm using my email address for this, there it is. It's right there. We'd like your feedback on your case. And the question is right in the message. And how did you rate our service? Well, I think it was great. Then as you click that link, it jumps into the survey. It's not working right now. I don't know why. But that would be it. Because that was supposed to be in an anonymous survey. But that's life in demo world. I'm also going to try to go at it another way. Just so you can see how it would work. so you can see some responses. Always open the latest version. Click send, send email. Select an option, embed the question. Send it to Andy. Done. And basically, invitation. Do not require authentication. This allows them to take it and also make it a unique link. You send. This is the survey again. Rate it. And I don't know what's going on. Okay, but that would be the response. You can view the responses. At this point in time, you can also set this up with Process Builder so that you can set up when the case closes, there's a new action in Process Builder called Send Survey Responses. If you do this properly, you'll have a list, a related list on cases where you can actually see their responses. And you'll also have a related list on contact where you can see the responses. And there's also Analyze in Survey Builder. You can build custom report types and then reports if you want to see more details, but there are no standard reports right now. These are some additional resources that are available. I'm going to copy these into the chat once I get back and stop sharing my screen and see if anybody has any questions. Okay, I'm going to escape out of here. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And I'm going to turn the chat on. Okay. All right. Put this in the chat. So those are all the links I had, and the code, and the link for the code. You can set this up, and I'll just go through some of these questions. The pricing is for 1,000 responses total. And also I'll save all these questions and then put them into that Salesforce Surveys collaboration group. And the code is for, if you go to this link here, you can go to the link I provided. You can try, you can basically use the send survey action with any object. So if you had a sale, you know, you had a product that sold and you want to survey, you can attach it to there. It's the send survey action is a standard process builder action that you can, what you do need is you can only send surveys to contacts, leads, users, or person accounts. So the object you're sending from has to have one of those types of fields on it. Well, it says it's a bad code. That's the code they gave me. There's not much I can do about that. Sorry. Let's see if there are other questions. Does the survey response show in the case? Yes, it does. Basically, if you use one of the lists, related lists that pop up, you have a action related to that record in the related list, and you click on on that action. There's see responses, and you can see all the responses right there. Ah, code worked for somebody. Okay. Anybody have? Okay. How much more time do I have? I'm sorry.
You have a, I'm sorry, David, you have a 3 minutes.
Okay. I'll just start looking at the last questions. Can surveys be scheduled? You could set them up, but that would be kind of outside of the stuff. If you wanted to set up a schedule and process builder to have a time delay to send it, 20 minutes after the sale is complete, a day after the case is done, you can do that. If you wanted to send it every quarter to selected contacts, again, you would have to kind of build a process. This is one of the things that is in the summer 20 release, which is totally in beta now. I'll provide the link to that. There is what they call a customer lifecycle management. And so you'll be able to send surveys to customers over, the same survey over a period of time and kind of gauge their sentiment. Okay, hope somebody won a prize. Okay, well, thank you all for coming. Sorry I couldn't get everything quite to work. Oh, I have a couple here in Q&A. Here, okay, I'm speaking louder, missed the beginning. Surveys are free for the first 300. After that, first 300 responses, then you have to pay for responses, but not to use the surveys. Is it only associated with cases? I asked that. You can actually attach any custom object to it. Select computers every 3 months, yes. Are the surveys? No. Salesforce works exactly the same in Classic as it does in Lightning, and that's because all the things you do with surveys are actually you're running in your own flow system in the survey builder. Can you not embed survey question in a Classic survey link? There is a way to do that, and it would be great if they actually had some branding features. But you can embed a link, but you have to pretty much construct the link yourself based on the invitation. There are several documents in the Salesforce Surveys community that describe this. I'll try to put a link into that later. Anything else? The cost on the surveys, responses, the list price for 1,000 responses is $300. It is free with Health Cloud. It is free with, I think, Financial Cloud. But that's the list price, and the pricing does go down if you buy more at one time. It also goes down if you talk to your AE at the end of the month when they need sales. The other thing about the limit, it's kind of like there's not a hard limit. Salesforce has said they will not cut you off immediately when you hit your limit, but you can bet your account executive will be calling you soon. And it's kind of like they'll let you slide for a little bit, but you probably will have to buy some to keep it going.
David.
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt that. Your time is up.
Okay.
I want to thank you for taking the time